rolling.
Right on.
Okay. So.
Finally, James and I get some together time on camera. Partner to be all partners.
All right. So
we're
we're here in Santa Cruz at a local free Wi-Fi station, Java Junction
on River Street, right off the freeway.
And it's a pretty cool place. It's a nice privately owned, non-corporate location, and they've been very kind to us as we've been in here for the last couple of days off and on, using their services and drinking their fine coffee. Don't forget to check out our websites. Mine is independencitizenmedia.weebly.com
and occupiedveteranssanfrancisco.weebly.com.
So today we adventured around. It's Black Friday, and got on the bullhorn and let people know there's veterans that are out in the streets, and there's open housing all around the country and here in Santa Cruz as well. They finally got the Veterans Center back together after 3 years.
They'll be reopening that on December 4th.
Coming up, we won't be here, but
yeah. Look, when we first arrived, I thought it was a travesty that there was this empty Veterans building. I went and checked it out, after having talked to some of the homeless homies here in Santa Cruz. And I went and I looked in this building. It's in pristine condition, and there's an old notice on the door from 2010, and I was like, what? I didn't know the full story, so this taught me. I learned a lot of important lessons over Thanksgiving, and I went off half-cocked on that action, but James and I have been kind of chomping at the bit since San Jose, and we got into Santa Cruz a couple days ago, and my arm got better, then it got worse. Now it seems to be okay. The healthcare system here for indigents.
Yeah, let's hear a little bit about how they treated you as an indigent.
Yeah. For those of you who've been following the story, I was wounded in the arm in San Francisco, and I thought I could shake it off on the journey, despite my friends urging me to seek hospitalization. And today I finally said, okay, this wound has got to stop.
Yeah, I told him
he had
to go.
Right? And the partner here urged me to do it, so at his urging, I went. And basically, I was in and out of there in about a half hour, which is kind of good in one way, but here's what sucked. They didn't even change my dressings. They gave me Neosporin packets and 3 bandages and a prescription. So I need to raise funds for getting that prescription filled probably tomorrow. James has been doing a bang-up job on daily fund acquisition while I try to strategize our next steps and plot the actual maneuvers.
Food, cigarettes, and medication.
Yeah.
Primary necessities.
We want to stress that we are completely self-empowered and running under our own will, and we're not coercing each other into doing anything. We have a really cooperative partnership.
Yeah, just working together to try to put the word out for peace and love and solidarity. Free Palestine and help the veterans out that are here.
Absolutely.
Stop putting money into politics. Typical things from Occupy.
Yeah. So that's what you were talking about
Specific
earlier.
missions for some people, and mine is kind of like an all-around mission of. Yeah. I film the police on a daily basis.
Damn straight he does.
At least twice today, once yesterday or the day before. Anytime I see those flashes going, it's time to pull out the camera. And here in Santa Cruz, I yelled cameras up. Yeah. And at both incidents, there were other people. You could call them street people or different people. They were tattooed,
on the street,
but they were regular. What I like to say is street people, because they didn't fit into in a house type scenario. They had tattoos and bones and stuff going through their nose.
Right
tattoos on their faces, but they pulled out broken iPhones and stuff, and they sat there and recorded the police on another homeless or street person, just kind of minding his own business, getting a ticket for smoking or whatnot. It was kind of cool to see that when I yelled cameras up today, there was 2 other people that pulled their cameras out and stood across the street and filmed.
That's great.
It. So yeah.
And we went, just to return to James' story of how we were on the corner today. Yesterday
standing on the corner.
We we spent the day at the Veterans Memorial, the War Memorial. Flying the flag and having our setup. And it was all right. We met some vets, met some homeless vets, met some retired veterans and a nice gentleman enjoying Thanksgiving with his son. You know, he'd retired out of the Army. He was humbled by his experiences. He had been in from Vietnam to Desert Storm. So he had a really unique perspective and a far-ranging base of experience to draw from. And today we went to across the street from the Peace Memorial, and beautiful corner for Oratory, and James was waving the flag, and I was on the horn. We were talking about the $700 billion debacle. We were talking about everything. We coined a new phrase of the phrase was "Happy Holidays from those who served." Some of us served with honor, some of us served with shame, but we're still homeless all the same.
And we're all family. We're all
Yes.
humans. We should be taking care of each other and focusing on things. I've always liked to
feed each other, don't
to
beat each
direct
other.
the conversation when we talk about things like this towards, you know, when I was a kid, I saw Star Trek, and everybody was happy because they had a job to do, a place in society, they had an education.
They were respected.
That was society using all of its abilities to propel the society forward rather than individuals, like the bankers and the oil barons, you know, that we see today. And it's, you know, something that I think if we start thinking along the lines of how we can work together to build that kind of future, you know, will we be able to work towards that? And there's a lot of people that look in those directions. There's the Tesla coil, you know, a lot of people are into his theories or absolute facts that he's been able to produce, you know, free energy, you know. So you know, we've had pretty much a full day, and we'll be saving this broadcast for those of you that are joining us late to my YouTube station, Occupy SF TV. Is there anything you wanted to add? I mean, I'm sure we've got quite a few things, but we've only got a few minutes left.
There was just one thing that you touched upon that I like about the Star Trek thing, and that's, you know, when society does better, obviously the individual does better. And when people take it upon themselves to take a journey of self-empowerment in an enlightened manner, not a greedy, selfish, corporate asshole manner, and we propel society forward, it carries the individual with it. This is a historical question, and it'll be explored in our various discussions, I'm sure. Our way of life has no choice but to show us the answer.
Just checking the chat real quick to see if there's any questions on here. We do have a viewer.
Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for joining us. I'm not sure who that is. It's possibly one of the followers.
Cool.
It could be Global Rev Live, which
hope it's one of our fellow occupiers.
You know, I'd like to talk to them sometime in the future about coordinating.
Global Rev?
Yeah, coordinating.
Yeah,
you know, I've been trying to talk to them. If this is Vlad watching, hey brother. You know, hopefully we can meet up. We're on the road right now.
Hope you're enjoying your baby.
Trying to promote peace and love, and you know, like we said earlier, and you know, we've got a mission that Mike has brought
this is the flag, you guys.
Why don't we tell everybody about the flag real quick?
Okay, the flag is the centerpiece of our March Across America. We intend on hitting every active Veterans for Peace chapter between here and Gainesville to collect signatures and birthday greetings for Scott Camille, who's one of my personal heroes. He changed my life. I just read about him in a book, and I was amazed and shocked and surprised and cried and laughed. But the guy's a living hero, and I'm honored to take this upon myself, you know, to surprise him on his birthday with these loving well-wishers signatures collected from across the country.
Couple more out
he directly impacted the ending of the Vietnam War. He conducted the Winter Soldier campaigns. He was instrumental in the founding of VVAW. He was multiple assassination attempts by the establishment to shut him up. His career is somewhat eclipsed by that of Ron Kovic. Blessings to you, sir, and your relations. Ron, who is well known for his book Born on the 4th of July, that is a stunning autobiography made into a very good film written by Ron, but done by Oliver Stone. Yikes. So Scott Camille's kind of, he's awesome. He's more like my type of dad. He's more like my dad, I guess, and I've got to carry this flag to him to show him that I love him, more than Facebook, and hopefully veterans across the country will be inspired to pick up something other than their Spain sign and work for global justice. So I'm writing an article about re-greening the veteran, the radicalization of U.S. Armed Forces service members. It'll be available pretty soon online. Donations have been great, you guys. Keep those rolling in. It keeps us in literature and bandages for the arm.
And if you can't make a donation, please just share the link.
Yeah,
let people know we're out here, and
you can do it for us by doing it in your own neighborhoods too. Get some big gallon Ziploc baggies, throw some candy bars and some socks in there, maybe an extra toothbrush, and just pass those out in your communities.
Yeah.
We don't have the resources to carry a lot of donations for others, but any excess materials we get, we do recycle back into our community.
We can only carry so much. On a quick note, we do have some needs. Obviously, your medical needs.
Yeah.
For your arm, the wound that you sustained being attacked.
Yeah,
in San Francisco.
It was a horrible attack too. James was there, and he had a great part to play in probably saving my fucking life from this guy, at least by keeping the guy distracted off of me while I fled into the shadows bleeding from my arm. James acted as a firewall between me and the dude, and we were able to meet up later and escape.
That was a distraction. You got away on your own, really. I mean, I was away from you at that point, and all I could do was make noise once you escaped.
It was insane.
I went looking for a weapon.
Yeah.
Because when somebody's swinging a chain and has a claw hammer, I don't have any way to defend against that on me personally. And I know you have self-defense training and stuff, ex-military, but when somebody has
muscle memory from like 12th grade taekwondo,
when somebody has,
but it fucked me up too. I've got an infection that can slow me down.
His arm's really infected. Been watching it out for the last 2 weeks, and it's gotten to the point where I told him you got to go to the hospital. We had a friend in San Francisco, Peter. If you're watching, it's good to see you, brother.
Peter Mancini, we love you.
And
namaste, brother.
He demanded we take him to the hospital, and we blew it off. We medicated it as best we could with we used hydrogen peroxide. And
for a while, I tried a number of things.
Right.
Some of my friends had me dumping, golden seal powder, sawdust-like material. Actually, I went from everything from Western industrialized medicine to home folk remedies.
The point of it is when he went to the hospital today, what did they do for you?
They gave me 3 bandages and 3 ointment packets. And they're like, later, dude.
They gave you a prescription?
Really? They gave me a prescription.
For some antibiotics?
Antibiotics. I can get them at any pharmacy. They're $4. Might be
along this march across America, this is the first injury we've sustained.
Yeah.
Leaving San Francisco. But you've been attacked several times. In
San Francisco.
So, I decided to jump along on this journey because it was something I thought was important to do. And we've only got about 30 seconds left. We'll have to come back and do another broadcast.
Welcome to our new viewers.
So we'll come back and do another broadcast here in just a minute to finish this story up. And save this to YouTube real quick.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in. We'll be right back.
Thanks.